morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Elite Auto Sport. And today, what are we doing, Mike?
We are ready to take on the restoration for the 2008 SL 550. And guess what? We're going to be tearing down the wheels. He'll do his magic on the detailing. We'll start tearing down the calipers, pulling off those rotors, start going into the preparation and the paint detail on that. We're gonna give it some pizzazz, and then once we have all the brake stuff, we're gonna start putting it in.
So basically, we are attacking almost everything underneath this car. We're gonna throw the oil change because the engine is warmed up already. Okay. So we'll do that with, of course, ROWE motor oil, and we'll go over the details in the process. So we're gonna prep for paint now, as you say. Take the wheels out. I'm gonna be changing the tires by the time you're prepping the rear brakes before the paint job.
Well, what we gotta do is
save some time.
We're gonna get this going. We're gonna get this right, and we're gonna have to cut out a little earlier. Today is the 24th anniversary of me and my loved one's life.
So you're gonna rock and roll tonight.
Rock and roll.
All right, let's jump on it.
All right, let's get on it and stay tuned.
You got the impact console.
Yeah, let's bring it up.
Let me take the cap off first.
Okay.
Since it's down, put that. Get it here. Bring this bad boy down. All right. Paint.
Well, you know what's amazing? It gave that effect that it was right through the vent of the wheel. But as you see now, that this is a combination of rust color over the gray. So we're going to certainly have to change that. Bingo, baby. Let's try one more.
$20 if you get this out.
Yes. It's already damaged here. So.
I think it's gonna come out.
Yeah, only if you cut a little strand of it.
So,
Well, there is one other thing that we could try, but it's going to be a tough one. Let me just see here.
this is the problem that always happens on those wheels.
All right, so we're ready to tear down the calipers, loosen up the pads, get them out, and get the caliper off. We'll let it hang so that doesn't leave any pressure on the sensors. I loosened them up all already, and you don't have any issue with any of the hydraulics and the stress. Okay, so for now, let's loosen up the pins on the calipers. What to do is use a flat punch, tap the heads right there. What I generally like to do is grab the pin with a clipping plier on the back side and tap it. Gives a nice be careful of the sensor. Loosen that up. Pin slides out. Get the clip off. Make sure the sensor is disconnected. Okay, loosen that up. Loosen up the pad by pulling it back on the piston. Okay, slide it out. We'll do the same thing on the inside. Slide it out. We're going to put a new sensor on the pads anyway. Okay, loosen that up. Now, what we want to do is take the caliper bolts off, which is an 18mm. Loosen that up. All right, and we got action. Once again, you want to get a good holding strap. Okay, caliper is now suspended and safe. All right, so now we got to pull the rotors off, and a lot of the times what happens is we are going to be faced with.
I'm pretty sure it's C, so let's use a gun, but hold it.
Well, here's what I like to do generally is I like to, inevitably when you have two metal surfaces, there's going to be some corrosion and it's going to fuse just like a weld. So what I usually do, because this is always very stubborn, is get a punch, okay, with a fine tip, all right, nice pointy tip, and I go right on the outside of the screw. And try to get some movement. I think we have
now we're good
there. Let's see here. All right, that's what we got here. That's what we want. That kind of action. All right. And we got another challenge here. As you can see, the rotor here on the hub has some grease, some dirt, and some corrosion. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to separate it. So what we want to do, if we need to, we'll get a scuff pad.
Smash the rotor. The rotor going to be changed anyway.
Yes, we're going to have to tap that rotor, no question about that. There is going to be a replacement. If we can't get it loose, there's a scuff pad on the inside.
Smack this thing, Mike.
Looks like it just might soften up a bit here. Give yourself a nice solid hammer. You can tap one side, the other side, a little bit in front, another quarter. Another quarter. Now, yes, from the back. Time out. All right.
I would say this is the last shot. Hit it.
Well, let me get into stance here. Little flex on the knees. Make sure you always give yourself some good back support. And to,
in 3, 2, 1, bam!
all right.
Oh shit, you got it.
You got it.
Of this color, Mike?
This color is fantabulous.
That's a new word.
Oh, well, that's actually one of the ones that I have made my signature. I can't claim it as my own because I certainly have heard it in the past, but I do use that a lot when I get really excited. And so I'm going to say fantabulous is what, yes, sir.
We got delayed on the AMG brake caliper decal, but they're gonna come later. It's easy. We have a big opening in the wheels, so it's like 5 spokes. So we have room to put it later on and shoot some clear coat on it. But for now, we're just gonna install it so we don't delay. Gotta take care of the fluids and some other things. For the final touches.
For the final countdown. It's the final countdown.
It's always fun to be in the shop with this guy. It's never boring. Which socket did you use for the reader?
It's right there set up for you.
I don't see it.
Allen number 7. Allen number 7, where are you? Allen number 7.
This car's gonna look like honey. I can't wait until we get to the detailing part. That's when the car gonna pop.
Pop goes the weasel, goes the weasel, goes pop. Did you say pop? Did you say pop?
Pot or pop?
Did you say pop?
Yeah, pop.
Pop goes the weasel, cause the weasel goes pop. All right.
All right, so those are the wheels. Everything is ready, cleaned. I'm just waiting for the vinyl. Still doesn't look complete, but this is how almost the finished product. I mean, you can tell big difference. Let's see the other side. Let's see the rear ones. Here's the rear ones with Michelin's, Pilot Sport AS3 Plus, and rotors, pads, everything's fresh on the car. So we'll jump to the for the fluids now, transmission, engine oil, everything, and of course with ROWE. So we'll do that now. All right, so now we replaced the antifreeze coolant reservoir. It was cracked, leaking coolant. Now everything is good to go. Just gonna put the ROWE coolant, the antifreeze, and that's especially for German cars, Europeans, Mercedes, Audis, BMW. They're the best. So we've been using it on all our race cars and using it on all our customers' cars. They've been proven for years. So we'll go ahead now, we'll finish this up, put the coolant, and then we'll jump to the oil change, and we're gonna go with the same product, of course, same brand, ROWE. So now it's filled up. We have to start the car, let the air out, and then everything should be good to go. If we need to add a little more, we will add. But for now, we'll start the car. What do you think the oil gonna look like?
Well, certainly with the last mileage interval, it's been a while, so we're gonna see, of course, some discoloration. All right, there we go. So, very long drain plug and action.
Oh boy, that's really bad. See it again?
Yeah, it's got some discoloration for sure. It's been a
lot.
while.
What do you mean this?
As you know, we should always to change the oil sooner than later. And
All right.
unfortunately, with full synthetic oils, you know, you can go to max 10,000 mile interval, but I never advise that. 7,500 is usually a good target on a lower mileage vehicle. I'm pretty religious on.
What do you think about the dealership when they say 10,000 miles? Is it believable?
I don't agree with that at all. I mean, if you have a new engine, inevitably there may be some initial deposit, but that might work. But rule of thumb is, I actually like to change it every 5,000 miles. But for those that can't make it every 5,000 miles or every 6 months, certainly go with a more or less a little bit sooner or later is not so terrible.
And even the people, they don't understand something. The 10,000 miles, how about if you're idling equal to 3,000 miles just on idle, not driving? No miles been rolling, so you're looking at only the miles. That's always wrong too. What about if you're driving in the city? The oil gonna be burned way more quickly.
Inevitably, you need to certainly accommodate your driving schedules and your performance. An engine that you're revving at high revolution, driving it aggressively, absolutely sooner than later. And maybe even sooner than 5,000 miles, of course, or 6 months, driving it hard. We're using a very, very fine product. The specifications are superior to US standards, and certainly ROWE is the way to go, and that's why we're confident in using it.
Then let's put the plug, bring the car down, and make this engine happy with fresh oil. All right, so now we drained the oil. The oil looked way past it, so we're gonna put the fresh ROWE 540, full synthetic of course, motor oil. So we'll go ahead and do that for now and make this engine happy. This car takes 7.5 to 8 quarts. All right, so here's the oil. Everything is done. The engine gotta be happy. Everything is good to go. Me and Mike, we finished everything as far as the coolant reservoir, the oil changes, the brakes, the tires, the wheels, everything mostly done. Now on the next episode, we're gonna be cleaning up the engine bay, gonna get the best detailing ever, and we're gonna change the belt, and we're gonna change the O-ring for the power steering pump reservoir as far as for the third episode, and there's some other fixes that we have to go over. And then the last day will be, of course, detailing the car, polishing, paint correction, doing all this accessory work on it, the cosmetic, we got here the grill need to be done also. All right, and before we forget, I know everybody will be looking at the front of the car, the fog lights, they look ugly because they broken, but the fog lights, the new ones coming in. So everything you're gonna see in the coming episodes is gonna be interesting. Now in the coming 2 episodes, you're gonna see how the car getting back together, and the whole car is waking up and feeling fresh. So we'll take care of it. And Mike, he will be with me tomorrow on it too. So we'll try to finish it as soon as possible because there's a lot of delays on parts. We're gonna try just to do our best to keep up with the 5 days agreement. So thanks for watching again. We will see you later.